back in Scotland.
Back in the land of Iron Brew.
We were in Scotland for the first time a couple of months ago now, and we filmed a whole bunch of videos. We absolutely loved it, and we kind of feel like we left a little piece of our hearts here.
Apparently we left a piece of Edinburgh here as well, though, because people were pretty disappointed in the comments that we didn't check out the best city in the world, apparently. And we kind of fell into place because the next country that we're going to is Mexico, and we found an awesome flight from Scotland to Mexico, and then thought, why don't we come back, check it out, do a road trip, and spend some more time here.
Any excuse.
Yeah.
So we've only got 24 hours in Edinburgh, but there is so much to do here. We can't possibly tick everything off, but we kind of feel like we've got a good mix of things to do today, and we're excited to kind of get out and see if this place lives up to its reputation. First up, coffee, breakfast, and some local Scottish food. We're staying at a place called Tiger Lily, which is a hotel, and then downstairs is also a cafe and restaurant. And this cafe is beautiful. There's flowers everywhere. There's so many different types of rooms as well. So just beside me, there's a room that's got books all through it. It looks like a little bit of a library. Everywhere.
It's so stylish, isn't it?
It's so stylish.
It's like the minimal white, the bar environment.
Yeah, it's so cool. And then upstairs is exactly the same. The bedrooms are on the same level. So we checked in last night and we had an amazing sleep.
So have a confession. We have not tried haggis yet. If you're Scottish, you're probably going to be giggling instantly. If you know what it is, you'll be laughing as well. But for those of you that don't, and I had to read this to figure out, haggis is a very traditional, very proud Scottish meal. It's quite gross. This might put you off a little bit, but it's cleaned animal stomach used as a cooking bag, filled with offal, minced heart, liver, and lungs with oatmeal, onions, herbs and spices, and all sorts of stuff. It doesn't sound great. They say when in Rome, right? Crunchy. Wow, that is such a mixture. Like an oaty steak pie. And peppery as. You know what, actually based on what I've just read, I shouldn't like it, but I actually really do. That's quite nice and very rich as well.
So if you haven't already picked out, our second stop actually is some of the maps just gone flying. It's Edinburgh
It's
Castle,
windy.
And it wasn't too far from where we were staying. We actually was just looking over the edge, and we could see it is one of the top things to do here, if not the kind of most important thing you need to do when you come to Edinburgh. And judging by the amount of people around, everyone's got the same idea.
Yeah, it was funny when we walked, because it was only about a 15-minute walk from where we were staying, and we came around this one corner and we were sort of saying to each other, I wonder how far it is to the castle and when we're going to see it. We walked around this one street and both were like, wow.
Whoa, there it is.
We knew that it was going to be sort of elevated and overlooking the city, but I didn't expect the height that it's at, and there's just the sheer rock face.
Yeah, it's impressive what it's been built on. It's a volcano, right?
It's a volcano, yeah. I've got a few interesting story times about this, and now that I've seen it, they sort of make a lot more sense. There's just something everywhere, isn't there?
I know, I keep wandering off from danger. I'm surprised you just found me.
Whoa, it's just a huge complex.
It's massive. We've got our map, but I keep getting lost.
That was a little bit of a shame. We were walking in to see the Scottish Crown Jewels, and they're very strict, no filming policy in there.
No, not even any phones. The lady was yelling at people, don't film that, don't film that.
It was like silent, and everybody was looking at the jewels, and then somebody just lifted a phone, and then seconds it was like, no photography! Instant.
But the jewels, if you're wondering, there's a sword, there's a crown, there's a necklace,
Rings.
and a ring, and it is very impressive.
They're all very
I
beautiful.
wish we could have shown you.
Yeah.
There is so much going on here.
I'm really enjoying walking around. I
Me
feel like
too.
I think we could spend you could spend multiple hours actually up
for
here.
sure, 100%. So not only was it a place like a royal residence, which is why the crown jewels are here, it was also used as a prison. So there's heaps of prison
There's a whole
cells.
section dedicated to prisoners of war and stuff.
Yep, what else was a fortress? All
Yeah.
sorts. It's been used for so many different things throughout history.
Churches, and there's a guy right in front of us on a horse. We need to go and around and see the front of actually what that says. It's a beautiful spot to explore as well.
Yeah.
There's stories that there were witches that were burnt here, but I think the most interesting stat that I heard was that it is the most attacked place in Britain. There's been 23 recorded attempts to try and take the castle.
I read online that one of the attempts only took 30 minutes, which is pretty impressive.
Did it fail or did they do
I'm
it?
pretty sure they got it.
Oh.
Don't quote me on that.
Well, they got it back anyway, and I'm pleased that they do because it's a great spot. Only a few minutes walk from the castle is this area called Grass Market, which is super interesting. Look at the different colours of the buildings alone. This used to be known for its public executions. It's quite a grim past here, but it's obviously a pretty happy and fun place now. It's full of restaurants and bars and whiskey shops and these boutique little shops. One of the pubs is called The Last Drop. So they're quite... With that, with the noose and everything, they're quite playful about the fact that just outright executions used to happen here. So we really wanted to just come and walk it just for a little while, and just sort of see what it's all about. It used to be a market, anyway. Even though Edinburgh seems like it is very walkable, we had such a good time. We were expecting that it was going to be raining, to be honest with you, but we had such a good time the other day on the hop off bus.
Hop on, hop off.
That we decided that we'd pick up a pass. It's only £16 for the day. We were fortunate we got given ASVA cards, so we could pick them up thanks to Visit Scotland, which is helpful so we can see the city.
So what we're going to do next is jump on the bus, drive the Royal Mile, which is in the old town.
It actually starts at the castle, and goes right the way.
Starts at the castle, finishes at the palace. It's a Scots mile, so it's actually longer than an English mile. So that's why we don't want to walk it, because to us that's over a kilometre. That's almost 2 kilometres.
Apparently that hasn't been used since the 18th century, but it's still a Scots mile.
We did actually get to see a little bit of it when we were up at the castle. It was very, very busy. And we're going to take the bus down to Carlton Hill.
Kelton? I'm not quite sure. There's no R. Kelton Hill.
By the Burns Monument and Arthur's Seat.
Well, that was all really enjoyable, slow pace, like good earphones and stuff as well while we were listening into all the information being shared.
My favourite part is the Scottish music that you get to listen to just while you're waiting at the traffic lights.
So I think that was maybe about 30 minutes, and now we've got off at the stop for the Kelton Hill, I think that's how you say it. This was quite an interesting project and has since not really become much of a project, and it's just sitting there. That's a little bit cryptic. We're going to make our way to the top and I'll explain.
Dane did all the research for this one, which means that I'll be doing story time and listening to it.
Oh, how nice.
This is what happens when you adventure with Dane. You spend 5 minutes at the bottom discussing which route you want to go on, and then he sees a path that's off-road and goes, oh, let's go up there. I'm so out of breath.
Worth it though.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh wow.
It was worth going off-road for. This is known as the National Monument, but if you've seen the Parthenon in Greece, you might instantly think that's exactly what it looks like. That's what it was inspired by, except for they actually ran out of funds and then they never really finished it. I think it started in, I think we read 1816, and it was it's a memorial for some Scottish soldiers that had died. So it started off with a really good cause, but now it's just quite literally on this hill. There's a beautiful view out across the city. We've got the water there. We can see all of the like spires and the church towers and the castle in the background, but it quite literally just sits here, and about the only thing that we can see happening is people just hanging out, walking around. Apparently they have there's festivals and stuff that they hold up on the grounds up here. There was attempts to try and build maybe a theme park or something interesting to go on, but it's pretty quickly met with protests from people saying that they don't want it. It's just is what it is.
We're driving for less than 45 minutes to go to an area known as Perthshire. I think everything from safaris, including boat trips. We'll be meeting some red deer.
Yeah, we've got loads of food. One spot in particular is going to be in a big dome.
That's right. And then we're going to be going doing whiskey and chocolate tasting and visiting heaps of castles and gardens, all sorts of stuff.